Well, all right, here we are with Matt again, and let's just take a couple of looks in slow-mo at Matt's swing. Matt, there's again a lot that I really like about your swing. Uh, these angles here look really good. That's one first try, and then second try here. You can tell right there as you bring your club down that you have an awful lot of your left hand underneath the club, and so we talked about in the other video that it would be a good idea for you to get with a hands-on professional, or really just study the grip a little bit more. The reason I think that you have developed that grip is because of something else that we talked about, is that your hips are releasing really fast. Let's get you to your address there. And let's just draw a couple of lines and talk about what's really great about this terrific spine angle here. A great bend in your knees there. That's not too much, not too little. That's terrific. I love that the shaft angle here is exactly perpendicular to your spine angle. That's great. And then this angle, the angle of your arms, is pretty much cutting that right in half. So it ends up being about 145 degrees. This is just great lines, great angles here. Terrific stuff. You can see that your feet are lined up right down. Let's say they looks like they're right down that target line there. It does look like your club face, if I were to draw a line where your club face looks like it's lined up, is perhaps there. So perpendicular to that would be where it looks like your club face is lined up. So that's obviously a reason. If I were to extend that line out, then it's going to the right of your the line of where your feet are lined up. So we need to straighten those lines out. Maybe I don't feel like your club is hooded at address. I feel like it's actually just forward, because that's what we talked about in the front view. Forward meaning it's way forward in your stance. If I were to draw a line out from your left foot, your right foot, just like that, you see that the club head is actually forward of that line. So let's take you through a little bit and talk about why you have developed that grip the way that it is. Number one, you're bringing it back on the to the inside. Here, I'm going to draw a line of your swing path coming back. Let's see if I can. That's the hard one. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. That looks pretty good. Let's see if I did it. Yeah. So following the club head, frame by frame, back. That's pretty good. Not too bad. You can see that from this position right here, this position right there. That's actually a really good position. It looks like you're heading into what would be a laid off position, because this right arm looks kind of high over there. I shouldn't have drawn that line, but because now I'm gonna have to leave it there. Let me continue on and continue that line to your top of your backswing, pretty much right there. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. But now watch what happens. Now this is a terrific position you're at in the top. This is a really great. You've developed a lot of torque. That right knee has not come forward too much. Your head is, your spine angle has been really consistent. But watch what happens here. Like we talked about before, you have a terrific shoulder turn and not too much hip turn, so that's creating a lot of torque. I love that. Fantastic. But watch where the club head goes from here. There, look at that, coming down there. So this is coming over the top. See that? So this is a whole different line from your backswing. We want to try to keep that more on plane there. And what's happening, because what's happening is, look at, I'm going to erase these lines now, and there you are at impact, and look how you have no weight at all. All your weight is transferred to the right side completely. So what we need to try to do is figure out a way to keep a lot of your weight back here on your left foot at impact, because I think that's that's the reason why you've developed that grip, is to kind of save it, to kind of be able to close your club face when you've spun your hips out already. Your hips are already completely open and at the target, and you're not even quite to your impact position. That's really between those two frames is so right around there is where your bam. Between those two frames is where your ball position was at address. So what you're trying to do, I guess, with that left hand being underneath so much is to be able to hurry up and close that club face. But that's not necessary if you can keep your hips a little bit quieter, or rotate, I guess. Let me say it, but let me say it this way. Your initial movement from the top of your backswing is coming forward, and we saw it on the front view. Your spine actually shifts to your right about 6 inches and gets past the point where it was at address, meaning more targetward than it was at address. And so you have to clear your hips in order to bring everything back down and get there in time. So what I want you to do is, this is an incredible position right here, but it is slightly, look at where the ball, if the ball is here and the line of your shoulder of this right arm is there, you're going to have to really stay there, meaning this spine is going to have to not move to the right at all on the downswing so you can stay behind the ball. You see how that heel lifts? And if you were to keep your spine there on the left side, the majority of your weight, when I say spine, I mean the majority of your core, is going to stay on the left, and then the hips clear with that left heel staying down on the ground, and then it lifts because it has to, because the weight of the club and your arm swinging through actually pulls your left heel off the ground. Now this is a terrific, I mean, your finish is incredible. I guess because you are so young, look at that flexibility there. That's terrific. One thing that might help you, if you were to think of from here, from this position here, actually just coming up onto your right side as opposed to through. If you watch a lot of the pros, they actually are straightening their leg. Their targetward leg for you would be your right leg. Right there, they'd be straightening that leg, and that might help. That might be a thought that helps you a lot, because it makes a really, really solid right side. For you would be the right side. So the hips are coming through, and you're pushing off that. You need to be able to push off that left heel, that left foot right there, but you're already past it. And then straighten that right leg, so it all stays on. So the weight kind of stays more center. That way you don't have to throw your hands and the club head at the ball so hard. There you go, and you can really see right there, how much, if I were to be able to zoom in on your grip, how much of your left hand you have on the grip. I'd like to see that more in your fingertips, not fingertips necessarily, but that's the feeling that you would want to have. Let's look at this one thing on your. So you see how your top of your backswing here. One thing on that is this elbow is flying a bit. boom, boom. But you do a pretty good job of getting it back in right there. So if this heel was on the ground, this would actually be a good position for your for your left elbow next to your body. That's pretty good. So you almost reroute. Get back to the top of the backswing, and then you can see that sort of over the top move that you do right there. And then again, the club face is you're throwing the club face at the ball and coming through. So let's look at it a couple times all the way through. One more time. Then I'll make one more point. And the second swing was actually a better swing. You can see that there. Your finish. If you were to think of, remember what I talked about straightening that right leg at your finish, and also if you were to have this leg and heel in one line, see how your heel's sticking out there? That's a telltale sign when the heel's sticking out that way that you're kind of working too hard to get through through the ball, so your footwork can be a lot more steady. That position there would be almost the finish. You see what I'm saying? Okay, there. Let's say there at the finish, as opposed to all the way over there. Like your hips are actually pointing to the left or to the right of your target. Sorry. So all in all, though, Matt, you're doing really well, and I also want you to look at I'm thinking that this might not be the right club for you. Looking at the front view, one thing I didn't talk about on the front view is that when we were in this position right there, when you're in the position right there, there's so much bend in that shaft, you might even need a stiffer shaft. And that's something you're going to have to go to your local PGA professional for to get a club fitting. I noticed that you're also choking down on the club quite a bit, so this might be a driver that you can see the end of the club sticking out there. This might be a driver that isn't quite fit for you, and so that's something to look at too. Is proper equipment is key to hitting great golf shots, especially in today's day and age. Anyways, Matt, please send more swings in the future, and because golf is an everlasting project, and I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.